Aloha, I'm Malia Zimmerman, and this is News Behind the News. Today I have one of Hawaii's best volunteers, I could say that for sure, and he's been recognized by many organizations across the state. I wanted to have him on today because he is such a good role model for the people of Hawaii and for our youth. His name is Victor Lim, and he is from McDonald's, and he just won a national award that we want to ask him about, along with his history and all that he does for Hawaii. Welcome to the show, Victor.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people in Hawaii know you, but tell us a little bit about yourself. You just won this Al Golin Award, which is a national award given out by McDonald's restaurants, and it only goes to one person in the whole country.
Yeah, you know, we have about 2,500 McDonald's franchisees in the United States, and this award is, given to only one person each year. So, so the competition is very tough. And so for me to, from Hawaii, to have this award is a tremendous honor. It's a recognition, I guess, for some of the little things that I do here in Hawaii.
Well, I don't know about little things, but we'll definitely get into that. But you got to go to the mainland and accept the award, right, with your son?
That's right. It was given to me end of July at our big national marketing meeting. And since my wife and my youngest son was actually in Asia on their way back to Hawaii, the time conflict, so they decided to flew my son from LA to come up to Chicago to join me.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, congratulations. I want to talk more about what it is that you did to win the award. But first, how about if we talk some more about your background, because you're not originally from Hawaii.
Actually, I was born in Burma, which is now known as Myanmar. I'm Chinese by ethnicity. And actually, I've lived all over different places like Singapore and Thailand. I went to high school in Thailand. And I came to Hawaii in '69 to attend college. Attended Chaminade for 1 year. Then I moved to Manoa because tuition was cheaper than in Manoa than Chaminade. And since, I'm trying to chase the American dream. So going to college over here, I got my BBA and MBA at the University of Hawaii. And joined McDonald's actually middle of the way through my MBA program. And that was in 1974. I worked with them for 14 years. And then in '87, I decided to become a franchisee since I got married and stuff like that and didn't want to travel as much, decided to have a family. And now, all I was trying to do was chase the American dream and been a franchisee now for about 25 odd years.
It's really, I've heard Veronica Kaneko speak. She is the head of the, I think it's the regional head of McDonald's in Hawaii, Hawaii and elsewhere.
Yeah, she's the president and managing director of McDonald's Restaurants of Hawaii. So she's a corporate head for Hawaii, Guam, and Saipan. And
she's quite an amazing woman, but she talks about how difficult it is to become a franchisee of McDonald's, and maybe you can talk a little bit about that. I mean, there's a real quality control, a lot of training, and so on.
Yeah, for somebody that has worked on a corporate side for 14 years, it's very easy. For somebody that's coming from the outside, you will probably see that it's a lot more difficult because, McDonald's is very strict and about all the little details. I mean, from food safety to the quality aspect, making sure that your operations, your stores are running correctly. And they also look at, what you do to give back to the community. Because, the founders of McDonald's like Ray Kroc, Fred Turner, and even our local franchisee, Maurice Sullivan that brought McDonald's in Hawaii, their philosophy has always been that you got to be part of the community. If you're going to do business in the community, you need to give back to the community. So that has been ingrained to people like me that, our franchisee, that, hey, whatever we do, running the restaurant is important, but being part of the community is even more important for the long haul.
Well, you have 6 restaurants, and you're part of all different communities on Oahu through your restaurants. Well, what are some of the, I guess, the ways that you've given back to the community, and maybe, I know we have Ronald McDonald House, which is a big part of McDonald's, a big supported by McDonald's, but you have a long list of maybe more unusual to the mainland things that you've done for the Chinese community, for the different parts of the Asian community. Maybe you can talk about some of that.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, when the Salvation Army opened up their center out in Kapolei, McDonald's Restaurants of Hawaii, we all of us franchisee and our corporate people, we also contribute money on top of what the money that they got from the Ray and Joan Kroc Foundation to build that center. It's a huge first-class thing, and we're so proud of our involvement with that. Another thing that you know, we did very well, I want to say that this year today is the 10th anniversary of APIASF, is Asia Pacific Islander American Scholarship Fund. It's the first national scholarship fund for people of Asian and Pacific ancestry. And I'm so proud that McDonald's, the Asian McDonald's operators and McDonald's Corporation, along with Coke and other organization of Chinese Americans, we helped launch that scholarship, you know, for America. And today, this year, we're celebrating the 10th anniversary.
Now, who are some of the beneficiaries that that received awards, and how did they use that?
Well, you know, it's a scholarship that was given to you know, anybody of Asian and Pacific ancestry can apply for it. It's a national scholarship program. You can go Google search it or whatever it is. You know, people from around the country, you know, all you have to do is have some Asian or Pacific Islander heritage, and you can get scholarship for it to apply for college. And in fact, the Gates Millennium Scholarship Program is also rolled into the APIASF, and Gates scholarship, I think they cover the whole 4 years at a crack, you know, and it's a big deal. So, you know, I mean, consider that before the APIASF was formed, you know, it was channeled through the United Negro Fund. Can you believe that United Negro Fund was handling, you know, scholarship program for people of Asian and Pacific Islander people? And now, you know, we have our own scholarship program.
That's great. Well, as it should be, right?
Of course.
Yep.
You know,
yeah.
And you know, for Hawaii, you know, I mean, when you look at Hawaii's population, 60–70% of our population base here is people of Asian and Pacific Islander heritage, right? So.
Right. Now, on your list of awards that you've won in the past, it's quite long, and one of the awards was the Small Business Hawaii Civic Leadership Award that you won in 2008. Maybe you can tell me about that.
Well, that, like I said, you know, I'm involved in a lot of things, you know, in Hawaii, as well as nationally. I also serve on a lot of different other national boards and stuff like that. But you know, to me, doing little things, you know, whether it's you know, Chinese Chamber or helping the families and the schools in the Windward side, because I also have a restaurant in Kailua. We do fundraisers for, you know, any nonprofit organization do fundraisers. We designated 2 Fridays a month, and they can come to our restaurants, and whatever they sell, we give a percentage of proceeds to the organization, and it has been to the senior classes, to you know, the Pop Warner football program or softball, to you name it. We have it as a vehicle to help the local community raise money, because as you know, there's the last 8–10 years, I mean, a lot of abilities for many of the organizations or the kids events to raise money is very difficult.
The economy has been tough for a lot of people, and I know that McDonald's has done well, because every time I'm in line, there's a long line of people, I guess, and that's a sign of the economy too, because people want to.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that you know, our customers reward us. We wish the economy is better,
right?
But you know, we are probably more downturn resilient than most other places. You know, I mean, to me, the high-end restaurants and things like that, definitely people cut back on it. But at McDonald's, because we offer such a great product at a tremendous price, that, you know, I mean, we are much more resilient than other people. That's why we continue to do well.
Right, right. Well, in terms of some of the other awards that you've won, tell me about that. I saw there was one. Was it the Chinese Chamber, or what was it?
Well, you know, I have been recognized as the business person by Chinese Chamber of Commerce, of which I used to be also at one time a president, a former president of Chinese Chamber. I was also recognized as Chinese Citizen of the Year by the United Chinese Society. I believe that was about, what, 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, these are all recognition for what I do, you know, and I didn't think, you know, I didn't chase these awards. I just do what I do for the right reasons, and I guess people appreciate what I do, so I get all these different awards.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, one of the things you do is you speak to students and at different places, including the University of Hawaii. What and about marketing and about business, what are some of the things that you tell them that they should, that anybody going into business should know?
I think one of the basic thing is that everybody wants to be successful. Everybody have great goals, but I think when you look at the real world around you, maybe less than 50% of the people actually expend the energy and the commitment to chase their goals. And I always tell the students, you have to chase your dreams, you have to chase your goals. I mean, it's not going to come to you on a silver platter. You know, growing up in Southeast Asia and coming here to, to go to college in America, I am always in pursuit of the American dream. And so, you got to work hard at it. You got to, unrelentless focus on what you're trying to achieve. And I think if you have those kind of commitment, you can be successful,
So did you ever think when you were in Burma that you would end up in Hawaii and you'd have, a business like this?
Oh, no, I have no idea. I mean, we always, of course, I was elementary school and, high school in Southeast Asia. All I think about Hawaii was actually, Elvis Presley with his movies, I mean, say, hey, if it's good for the king, I mean, it must be a great place to go. But never did I imagine that I would actually end up living in Hawaii and have an opportunity to be part of this great state,
Well, why did you pick to come to Chaminade? I went to Chaminade, by the way, and I liked it. I was lucky I got a scholarship. But what did you like about, I mean, what made you pick Hawaii of all places and Chaminade?
At that time, out of high school, I got accepted by 3 schools. One was Chaminade College at that time. Of course, one was University of San Francisco and one was University of Wisconsin. Growing up in Southeast Asia, Wisconsin, I mean, automatically I cross it out because it's just too cold.
Yeah.
I mean, we can handle heat, but we cannot handle cold.
Right.
And then it was debating between San Francisco and Hawaii. And I said, hey, Hawaii looks like a great place. Yeah. And I'm so glad I did. In fact, between 1980 to 84, I actually lived in Southern California. And when I had a chance to move back to Hawaii, I just jumped at it because, it's not often that, as you move around in your adult life, that you get a chance to go back and live in a place that you like.
Now, Hawaii has its reputation for being one of the toughest places to do business in the country. We've done many shows on that. But how is it that you overcome that, and what do you think about the business community here?
No doubt about it. I mean, our taxes are high. Our cost of doing business is very high. But then, to me, I also see that as a great opportunity. My personal philosophy is, I'm not trying to be arrogant, but is that when times are good, everybody can make money. But when times are tough, only the smart ones make money. And
smart and hardworking, right?
That's
you
correct.
have to be hardworking.
So to me, when times are tough,
yeah.
I think it's a great opportunity for us.
It's a good test.
And so to me, that's my personal philosophy. So I mean, don't let the little obstacles that face you along the way get in the way of your pursuit of what you want to do.
Now, what do you think you're most proudest of in terms of the charities you've helped, or the maybe the ways you've made a difference in Hawaii?
Well, I've been a employer now for 25 years or so, and I have a lot of staff that works for me that have been with me for over 20 years, through thick and thin.
That sounds like a good boss.
It's amazing, and I'm so fortunate. And some of my key staff, the one pride that I have, that some of my key staff, I mean, they run, even though they work for me, they run the business like it's their own. So that's definitely is very high on the list of things that I'm very proud of. The other thing is that I'm very proud of my family. I mean, I think we've raised them well. We provide them with a great environment. I think they are, 2 out of 3 right now is working in the McDonald's business.
You mean your 3 boys, right? You have
no, I have one girl and 2 boys.
2 boys, okay.
And my daughter did work for me for a brief period of time, but she's trying to find herself. I said, it's okay. I mean, You have to chase your dream. You have to be happy in what you're doing. But my two sons, you know, one is working in Los Angeles on a corporate side, you know. I mean, I said, you know, go and learn from it, you know. And then my youngest one did the same thing. He was working for some franchisee on the mainland while he was going to school. And now that he finished school, I said, you know, come back now. Okay, now you can come back and work with me. Because I don't want them to just come and work in the mommy and daddy's business, because they have to see the real world.
That's right. Well, it's a good experience, but it's also nice for them to be able to have the business maybe stay in the family eventually.
Yeah, yeah. So that, you know, they have a good contrast. You know, I think many of my friends over here in Hawaii, you know, they have a philosophy that to say that, you know, if the next generation wants to come into the family business, they need to work outside, and they need to be able to get promoted a couple of times outside before they even will consider them back in the family business. I think that's a great philosophy, so that, you know, I mean, it's not just pure nepotism. I mean, they get to earn their keep. I think if they do that and they enjoy what they're doing, I think we have a good future.
Right. Well, what about some community projects that you might be working on right now? Is there anything that jumps out at you that you want to promote, that that's a nonprofit thing that you're working on?
Right now, hot and heavy, I'm working with you know, some of the other leaders in the Chinese community, and we're trying to develop a affordable senior housing and multicultural center in Chinatown. You know, a few years ago, I mean, some of you do remember that, you know, I was trying to work on the project to stop like Housing First in Chinatown, because, you know, Chinatown, as you know, has just more than its fair share of, you know, homelessness
right.
and things like that. And instead of continuing to just look at it as a place to dump, we're looking at it a place where we can be progressive and make the Chinatown community that much more vibrant and accessible for the people. And having something like a homeless, affordable senior housing and multicultural center will be great for the area. I'm working with Carol Fukunaga, you know.
She's a council member.
She's a council member now.
And former senator,
She's a former senator and now council member, and we're going through the city council hearing. We met with many of the council members, and they're very supportive of it. In fact, in 2009, they passed a bill, a council bill 09-364, that said that, you know, whatever that they develop in the Chinatown area, they should get input from the community. So like this year right now, in 2013, Carol Fukunaga did a updated version of that bill. It's called 13-164, which really is developed that property on River Street to make it into a reality, having an affordable senior center, senior housing, and multicultural center.
But it wouldn't be it wouldn't be for homeless, it's more for just affordable? Is that how it works?
Actually, it's for affordable senior housing and a multicultural center. You know.
So what, in your vision of this, what is it that you see happening in the multicultural center?
Well, you know, Chinatown is unique. If you look at Chinatown, you know, 60, 80 years ago, people that lived in Chinatown, works in Chinatown, are predominantly Chinese. Right. Today, they're not. Today, they come from Cambodia, they came from Vietnam, they came from the mainland. I mean, it's a multicultural mix right now. It's just like a greater Hawaii population. So even though you might have a greater concentration of Asian heritage, so, you know, a place like that, you know, plus if you look at the area around there, there's a lot of, there's a Taoist temple, there's a Shinto temple, there's Chinese language schools. You know, so when you look at all of these things, it's so rich, and having a place for the, you know, the different groups of people to take advantage of, I think would be wonderful for us. And so far, all the different council hearings that we've been to and the council members that we have met, I mean, they wholeheartedly support it.
Now, who owns the land under there?
The city does.
Oh, okay.
The city acquired that property initially under the Fassi administration, I think with hard money.
And would it be a private or a city development?
I think what we're looking for is that, I mean, there are enough private developers that are willing to take the project on. I mean, if you look at many of the city projects, the city could continue to own the land, you know, I mean, give us a long-term lease for the people that's going to develop it, and then, you know, make all the things happen. So the city really don't have to expand any of the city's budget. There's enough people that are willing to take the project on.
Now, one of the challenges in Chinatown, as you mentioned, is that it's had problems with crime and homelessness and things like that. Is there kind of a plan in there to address that, or is it just is that part of the plan, just to have a place that's bringing in, you know, people that can help combat that?
You know, if you look at it right now, you know, we have River of Life there that, you know, takes care of it.
Yes.
You have the, you know, right at the top of the 4th Street Mall, you have the, also have the home to treat the, you know, the drug addictions and things like that. So we have a lot of different places already in the Chinatown area that takes care of that stuff. I know the city and the state are also looking at other areas to handle the homeless housing and things like that. You know, it's a very difficult issue. It's not just in Hawaii. You know, as I travel around the country, you see that everywhere. You know, it's I think it's probably going to take a whole bunch of people that look at it from a 30,000 feet level and just say, okay, now how do we resolve that? And in fact, if you talk to many of the people, a lot of the homeless people, they also need to have some tough love too. You know, I mean,
right.
It's just, because when you look at our homeless shelters, there's a lot of empty beds every night.
Right.
A lot of them don't want to stay in to go to the homeless shelter because there's rules and regulations,
right.
And so they rather go and camp out on the street. It doesn't help the situation.
Right, it's true. We've done shows on that fact that the Institute for Human Services, you know, there are people that could go in there but don't want to because of the rule, the no drug policies or no drinking or whatever it is that they might have to. Well, it's a big project, and what is the timeline on it, and where is it at in terms of approvals?
I think right now the interesting thing is that, you know, it has gone through the Finance Committee under Councilmember Ann Kobayashi's committee, and they pass it out of a committee. I think it's going to go to the full council right now, and I understand the council chair, Ernie Martin, is in support of it, and almost every single council member that we have talked to cannot see as to why, because the community supports it. Over 80 different organizations in the greater Chinatown area has come out in support of what we're trying to do.
Now, what drew you to this project to spend so much time on it and be so passionate about it?
Well, it all started, you know, in 08, 09. The city was trying to build this housing first, right beside the Taoist temple, the Tin Hau Miu, which is it's overseen by the Lam Society. You know, I'm Lim, so Lam Lim Lam is our family society. It was going to be directly adjacent to our Taoist temple, and so, you know, it was very, very difficult for us when we look at it. At that time, you know, we opposed it because, one, it was thrown at us as a surprise, and you know, nobody came from the city side or things like that come to talk to us and things like that. Mm-hmm. They thought it was the best thing for us, even though
nobody asked you.
Nobody asked us.
Right.
You know, and then when the community found out about it, the community was up in alarm. Mm-hmm. You know, and the whole community came. You know, you never see so much community that came out to oppose that, from the downtown neighborhood board to the whole Chinese. I mean, we have about like 200 different Chinese societies, but you know, the immediate area, there's about 70 different organizations that came in and to oppose that. Mm-hmm. So this is a continuation of the 2008, 2009 effort that we do. So, and then we still continue to try to make it better for us.
Right. So is that one of your main focuses right now besides your business?
Well, you know, the APIASF is always will continue to be a big project for us, mm-hmm. because as a McDonald's franchisee, since we helped launch it, you know, we are continuously looking for ways to help raise money for it.
This is the one in Kapolei?
No, this is the one. APISF is out in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's our national scholarship program.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
And then
the Kapolei is the Salvation Army thing.
Right, and was that completed?
Oh, the Salvation Army Center, if you look at it, the Salvation Army Kroc Community Center. It's a first-class facility. It has places for people. If you're a Neighbor Island student, come places to stay. They have a full gym. They have 2 swimming pools. Kids can go and do learn how to do hula. You can do Zumba.
So it's a real community center.
It's a huge community center.
Yeah.
If you have never been out there, I will encourage everybody to go out there and take a look. It's a wonderful, wonderful facility.
And is it open to the public?
It's open to the public. I think when that center came into play, I mean, you got to see it's one of those things where all the stars were lined up. You know, Campbell Estate was involved in it. The city was involved in it. The state was involved in it. I mean, so many parties was involved in it to make that happen. At that time, I think Don Horner, as a chair of, CEO of the First Hawaiian Bank, he took on as the lead
chair of it?
Chair of the project to raise money locally. So I think they got like over $100 million from the Ray Kroc Foundation,
wow.
Ray and Joe Kroc Foundation, and they raised another $20–30 million from locally.
Wow.
To make this whole thing come into play.
Well, that's a good example of how the business community can come together and make a difference, along with government.
It takes all of us working together. So I mean, government alone cannot make it happen. Community alone cannot make it happen, because you're going to get all these permits and all these things to go through.
We all know about that.
You know, I mean, so like I said, when Salvation Army Center opened up in Kapolei, it was when all the stars were all lined up in the same place.
Well, that's good. Well, we only have a few seconds left, and the stars have been lined up for you, and I'm happy for your award and your success in business. And in the next 30 seconds, what's ahead for you?
Well, I think, I'm having so much fun. Everybody say, oh yeah, my kids are out of college, I'm going to retire soon. I don't see, retiring anytime soon. One, I got to make sure that, one, they are ready. If they're interested in taking over the business, that they are ready. And the second thing is that, maybe when I have time, I would like to continue to, help out with the students and things like that, because I enjoy teaching and going to the classes to speak.
Well, you're too young to retire anyway.
Yeah, I hope so.
You got a long life ahead of you. A lot of things to accomplish.
I hope so. I'm having too much fun.
All right, great. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
All right, well, congratulations again. This has been News Behind the News. Aloha.